Hey guys, welcome to Bands at the Bar at Lefty's Live Music. I'm your host, Chad Taylor. Joining me today are a couple of guys from Curse of Hail. We've got... Introduce yourself.
I'm Ben Monroe. I play bass for the Curse of Hail.
I'm Ken Payne, and I do vocals.
And we'll get this thing kicked off with our inaugural shot. Here we go, guys.
Cheers. Cheers.
Alright, so let's get down to business. Let's start with kind of just some basics. How long have you guys been playing in the scene here as Curse of Hail? I don't care when you guys started.
That's kind of an interesting one because the Curse of Hail, I don't think has technically a single original member, but they've been around since like 2007, 2008.
So when did you guys come on board?
I joined in 2013 after Curse of Hail had already gotten their name out a good amount, and I was actually I'd say one of the guys' biggest fans before joining, and then I ended up becoming friends with the members just through being drunk at shows and being like, "You guys were fucking awesome."
Yeah, I've been in the band for about 5 years now.
Okay.
And we've both been in other local bands that played with them before we joined the band too.
Yeah. So there are no original Curse of Hail members though.
Well,
is that true?
Yeah, it's strange because there's our a YouTube video that has the most views on it. Is two guys that at least I've never been in the band with. I think Josh ended up jamming with them, and
wasn't one of them? I think his name was Seth, and he ended up playing drums for Stand United.
Yeah. So that's kind of strange. If you look us up, the video that has the most views is that, but it's I don't know, probably 8 or 9 years ago now.
Yeah, the video quality is just terrible.
Yeah. So do you guys still play some original songs that nobody in the band actually had a hand in writing?
No, definitely not. No. Yeah, I think once Josh started jamming with those guys, I think then the project started moving forward. Josh, our guitarist, and then our drummer Adam have been in the band for probably 7 to 8 years now. So.
Yeah, the name was already decided when Josh joined, and I think wasn't Adam originally the bassist?
Yeah, Adam played bass, and Josh's younger brother Justin played drums for quite a while, and then Adam moved to bass, or Adam moved to drums. Then we had Lucas Williams played bass, and James Heckathorn played guitar. And Josh actually did guitar and vocals for quite a while, which was quite the feat because he's such a good guitarist too.
So who are all the current members now?
So Josh is playing lead still. Adam plays drums. Ben on bass. Luke is our rhythm guitarist, and then I do vocals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, talk a little bit about playing metal in Des Moines, because speaking anecdotally, from the shows that I've been to, I try to get to quite a few shows whenever I can. It seems like Des Moines is still pretty much a metal town. Those tend to be the shows that draw the best. Those kind of be, I think where a lot of especially musicians and how a lot of their passions lie. So, what's the metal scene like in town?
It really fluctuates, in my opinion. That at some points it does way better than others, and the local hardcore scene is also pretty big in Des Moines, and it kind of trips me out the fact that they're both heavy music, both heavy aggressive music genres, but the scenes between the two are just so completely different. They are just segregated. Underground Rock Shop is where all the hardcore shows take place, and then all the metal shows take place at the Woolies here, whatnot. But occasionally the two do combine and whatnot. But
I think there's just a good mixed bag of hits just about every kind of genre of metal too.
Yeah.
There's not too many bands that sound very similar. Yeah, which is good. But yeah, I would definitely agree it's a strong music scene for metal. A lot of good metal bands to check out. A lot of good up-and-coming bands too, and it's important to get out there and support them. Because at least since we've been in bands, it feels like we've seen 100 bands come and go since then. So that's a tough thing, and a lot of them are really talented, and it makes the scene a lot stronger when they're still a part of it.
And it seems back in the mid '90s, late '90s, even into the early 2000s, there was this kind of stretch of period where it seemed like everybody was trying to, everyone was trying to be Slipknot. Everyone was trying to kind of be Deftones, somewhere in that area. And there are still a couple of bands in town that are, just kind of Slipknot ripoffs.
Yeah.
You know who you are. You know who you are.
That one took me a second.
But beyond that, I mean, now it seems like kind of people are kind of following their own, finding their own kind of muse and following their own sound.
Yeah.
What kind of influenced you guys, and where do you guys draw your inspiration from, do you feel like?
That's a bit of an interesting one because, like, pretty much it's whatever Josh is listening to at the time. Like, Josh, the lead guitarist, he's the one that writes all the songs, just like from the beginning, the structure of them, like going back and listening through them, through the full length identical paths available online. But like going back and listening through it, there's certain parts where I'm like, hey, I remember showing Josh this band and pointing out like, hey, I really like that this band did this kind of like change right here. And then, lo and behold, he writes something very similar to that without him even realizing it. He just like sucks up like inspiration from just whatever is around him. I've had 7 different music instructors my entire life, and Josh breaks every rule of music theory I've ever learned. I don't understand it.
Yeah. He. But I think too we are all kind of influenced by a lot of the same type of music too that's out there. Just a lot of the kind of newer progressive metal bands that we all tend to seem to like the same bands too.
Yeah,
so, which I think is good because I think that kind of sets us apart a little bit from some of the other bands in town too. Gives us a little bit different sound. And just over the years, I think we've really progressed too. From a lot of people called us, we did pretty much sound like a Black Dahlia Murder cover band for a while, and we still have songs that kind of sound like that. I think we're branching off quite a bit from that, and moving down the right path. So.
Yeah, and for a band that's had kind of the level of turnover in members that you guys have had over the years, how does that affect what you guys do and kind of how the sound changes? When someone else comes in, do they kind of add their own?
Well, I think for at least since I've been in the band, which has been quite a little while now, and even since Ben's been in the band, that we've just had this steadiness from Josh and Adam writing together, and then everything else. I mean, those guys lay out a song. It's pretty much kind of almost self-explanatory what the other parts are going to do. It just feels so natural and just easy to write. I know, at least for myself, and I'm sure Ben, a lot of it just kind of falls into place really easily because their writing style is, it's just, it's like when you're listening to a song, you're like, you kind of have a feeling where the build-up's going and, what's going to come up next. It just feels natural.
Kind of writes itself sometimes.
Yeah. You know what? I think we'll go ahead and take a break now. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about kind of the state of the scene and where metal fits into what Des Moines doing. But we'll take a break and listen to a song. Do you guys have one in mind?
Yeah, let's do, you want to do Lake of Three Fires?
Lake of Three Fires sounds good.
All right, so this is Bands at the Bar. We'll see you in a minute. back. Welcome to Bands in the Bar, Lefty's Live Music. This is Curse of Hail. Round 2. Here we go, guys.
Right.
All right. So, I suppose let's start. Tell us a little bit about that song we just heard. Where did that come from for you guys?
Ooh.
The name of the song itself.
I guess I can't remember what it's kind of funny to us, and I'm sure it's an inside joke for multiple bands, but most of our songs will have a name before there's actually lyrical content to it, because Ben will help with some pre-production, then he'll make up some crazy name. I don't even what was that originally called?
Octo Force 5.
Yeah.
Only one of the temporary names actually made it to the full length, because I was like, no, this name needs to stay. It's the third track on the album. It's called European Disaster Train.
Yeah.
I was far too attached.
Out of the whole CD, he had names for all the tracks, and we let him keep one of them. So that's the one. But yeah, the Lake Three Fires. Most of them do actually have. Most of the names have something tied back to the lyrical content. But this one, I guess I don't even really know if I think I might have been looking for like a camping site, and I saw a place in Iowa called Lake Three Fires. So I don't know if that's very popular. It doesn't. I think not too many people have heard of it.
I think it's like southwest Iowa.
Yeah, I think right. So we just thought that was, or I guess I thought that was kind of a cool name. And
your exact quote was, "Dude, there's a place in Iowa called Lake of Three Fires. I'm naming a song after that." And then that's where that came from.
Yeah, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and then I mean, a lot of the just the lyrics, I guess, are just it's kind of just social issues, kind of politically driven, I guess, a little bit too. Yeah, and it's a really fun song. I mean, it's one of the most recent songs that we wrote for this last album. So I think it's kind of funny. I mean, we definitely hear it. Some of the stuff that was material for past 2 years, and then stuff that we wrote closer to the end of the album, and we can definitely hear, things moving in the direction that we want our music to move in. So yeah, I think there's a couple songs that it's like, man, we've been playing this song for 3 years now that we're like kind of tired of it.
The band practice rolls around. It's like, want to play Vultures? No, we don't.
So, but we're still excited about a lot of the newer material on that CD, and then even the newer material we're working on right now for potential release later this year, early next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the first half, we talked a little bit about how Des Moines still is kind of a metal town, and how the shows seem to do well here.
Yeah.
And the thing I find interesting is that they tend to be well attended, and obviously there are a bunch of metal bands in town. Hard rock and metal is kind of where it's at, but there's also not that one like big metal event. Like the DMC does 8035, and now there's Hitchland, and there's 515 Alive for the kind of dance crew. And there was, I mean, for a while, I suppose Laserfest kind of scratched that itch, but they didn't really do much local after the first 3 or 4 years. And there's never really been that kind of local metal fest that's really kind of taken off. Do you guys think that we need that, or would it help? Or?
Yeah. I'm sitting here while you're explaining this, like, that sounds pretty awesome to me. Like, count us in.
I'd say a couple of years ago there was one kind of on a pretty local level. They called it like Sound the Slaughter Fest, which was kind of confusing because there's like Summer Slaughter and like a bunch other. But that did a pretty good job of getting a lot of the bands together. Some of the best local bands, and then some regional bands too that were getting pretty popular. But yeah, I definitely think it would make a lot of sense to try to get some of those bigger regional bands that are touring and people that would like to see, and then fill it in with 10 other solid Iowa bands. And do some sort of outdoor festival. Yeah, that's quite the burden for somebody to take on too, though. Right. But I mean, I think it'd be great if they could do something like that. I mean, maybe something through First Fleet or something. They could try to put on something like that. I know we've kind of talked about potentially doing some ideas like that. But yeah, it'd be a good idea. We'd love to be a part of it.
Well, especially nowadays. I mean, since now you figure that probably the two biggest bands at least as far as recognition outside of the state go, are probably going to be Hollyway Hounds and then Green Death.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, and the stuff that Green Death has done lately has been amazing. Especially, so you got to think of being able to capitalize on that and say, hey, look, you know, Iowa's got we got more where that came from.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Especially, I mean, even Dead Horse Trauma. Those guys are. I mean, all those bands, even Apathy Syndrome. I mean, those guys have all been pretty close to selling out Woolies, which is incredible.
Right.
Incredible. I mean, we wish we could do something like that, but I don't think we're at that stage right now.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
Yeah, I mean, something that would feature a lot of those bands, I think would really showcase, be a good showcase for the scene here.
So, what is on kind of the future horizon for you guys? Do you guys see a tour coming up soon, or do you guys something you guys even want to do, or?
Well, we're
Actually, at the end of this month, we're going on just slightly over a week-long run with a band from Wisconsin named Pangea, who just incredibly talented musicians and just some of the coolest guys ever.
Yeah. So that'll be like our kind of first experience. I mean, we've done some out of town weekends and stuff like that, but this will be the first time we're doing a pretty solid 8-day run throughout the Midwest, and with a band that I think complements us very well. We love listening to them. They have an incredible CD. I would recommend everybody go check out Pangea before they check out The Curse of Hail. Then check us out. But listen to them first. They're so good. So we're so happy that they asked us if we wanted to do this, and we'll just be doing a little run through Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin. So it'll be fun. But yeah, I mean, you know, definitely an idea. It's just it's so hard to say. I mean, there's so many good bands that have come through Des Moines, and it's a unique market. So I think it is a lot harder than some of the bigger cities in the Midwest even to break it onto that next level. Been a lot of good bands over the, you know, since I've been around in the music scene, and so.
I think that, like, a lot of times when out-of-town bands, like, both signed and unsigned, like, when they pass through Des Moines, like, they, are a little bit taken back by, like, the local music scene. Like, they don't expect, like, the music scene to be as good in Des Moines, Iowa, unless they've been here before.
Right.
Like, it to be what it really is.
Yeah. Now, you guys mentioned working on some new material for release, hopefully either early next year or later this year.
Yep.
Can you guys give us a little insight? Share any secrets about what you guys are working on, or?
Kind of. I mean, just what we were saying a little bit with some of the newer music that we released on the last album. Really, that it's just it keeps kind of progressing that way. I mean, we still have a lot of heavy stuff, but we're trying to do some stuff a little bit outside of what we've done in the past with doing some pretty singing and stuff like that. So, I mean, we want to be as, you know, well-rounded as possible. So, you know, you can appreciate the musicianship, and you can, you know, appreciate just the different different styles of metal that we try to do.
Yeah, I will say that, like, from the pre-production tracks that I've worked with Josh so far on, the newer tracks are a lot more melodic than some of our older ones, but at the same time we're still trying to make sure not to lose, like, that death metal, like, dark side to it as well. But it's a lot easier to digest than some of our, like, more intricate material. That's not saying that it's, like, easy to play or, like, follow and whatnot, but it's certain parts can be a bit chaotic in some of our previous material, and if people weren't a fan of that, then
might turn them off a little.
But yeah, we're still making sure to have very intricate parts, and definitely making sure to challenge ourselves as musicians, because, you know, we want to put out the best material that we can, and, like, basically play all of what we're capable of.
Yeah, no, it's exciting for, I mean, we just passed around a track the other day, and it's,
I love that song.
Yeah, we both get still so excited. I mean, it can just be a, you know, guitar track of Josh, some new material from Josh with a metronome, and just listen to that, and it's like, wow, this, at some point, you know, this is going to be an awesome song, and, like, just that whole excitement of building that song until you get it to the point where it's not fun anymore. Which, after you played it like that 100th time, you're like, all right, hopefully something new's come along. And
Yeah, dude, yeah. Pretty much every CD that you hear a band release, that CD was finished writing about a year to 2 years prior to that release.
Right.
It's just the whole recording and production process. It just there's no fast way to do it. It's an unfortunate fact.
Yeah. Now you guys mentioned that Josh does kind of the vast majority of the songwriting. How does that work? I mean, does he come in with kind of a basic melody and then you guys kind of fill it in, or is he a lot more kind of, okay, this is what you're playing, this is what you're doing?
No, yeah, he'll just kind of write a couple guitar riffs, write it out as a song, and then usually him and Adam, our drummer, will get together and kind of lay out what they want to do. And then Ben's does a great job too, what he can do recording wise, and he records a lot of local bands too and does a great job. Yeah. But yeah, he can kind of help us lay out a song basically that way. And then everybody kind of just comes in and does what they think, and we come together and be like,
Yeah.
Usually I don't think there's been too many times where it's like, no, don't do that. So.
Yeah. That, like, the way that I heard Josh put it is like, if it was just him writing everything and telling, all right, you play this, you play this, you play this, then it would be the Josh Adamson band.
Yeah, right.
But that's not what it is, because each of us brings our own thing to the table. Like throughout practicing it, Luke will learn new leads and whatnot to play over it, and then I add in as many intricate bass lines as I possibly can over it. Maybe a bit much sometimes. And then Adam is just magic on drums. I love that man.
Yeah. We all try to, at some point, try to show who's the superstar of the group, and we all have our little moments where we get to shine, and sometimes we overdo it at the time.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
end up bumping into each other on stage.
But yeah, it's an exciting process. It really is. I mean, Adam is an incredible musician. Josh is all those guys. I mean, it's a band where you're always trying to up your game a little bit, because those guys are always improving as well. And if you're not, you should probably call her quits and let somebody else come in and take over.
Let's talk a little bit about kind of the live experience of Curse of Hail, what your stage show is like, because you've got, on one end you've got these really, really refined, really involved stage shows like Dead Horse Trauma, which is just they have the lights, they have the fog, they got that whole stuff.
Right.
And then, on the other end, there's guys like Murder Earth, and I love those guys. I love those cats.
Oh yeah.
But that's about as close as you get to just 5 dudes walking by a stage and being like, hey, there's instruments here, let's go play some shit. Right. So where kind of on that spectrum is Curse of Hail? Where are you guys at?
Well, I think, for the style of music we play, I'm very impressed with, a lot of our stuff is really technical, but we go out there and we try to put on a hell of a show too at the same time. But I think that's a lot too we get excitement out of our music, and we get excitement out of seeing people enjoying our music too. I'm just like Ben. We've been in bands since I can remember, really. So being in a band where it's like, wow, this crowd is actually, being really receptive to us, and doing stuff where you feel like, you're a national touring band or something like that.
Right.
Because we try to. There's times, not always, there's some incredible bands that come through, but we hope that we kind of step that level up, that if a national band's playing after us, they're like, we better better raise the bar just a little bit above those guys too. So it's a great feeling being out there though.
Yeah, as far as lights go and whatnot, we'd like to have a crazy light show, but that's another thing that we have to lug out to a show. In all honesty, we got some step-up boxes that our guitarist Luke recently made. That pretty big fan of those. Those are pretty awesome. But aside from that, we've got really good on-stage chemistry, which it's taken a little while for us to gain that. Especially with me and the rhythm guitarist Luke. It took a while before we stopped bumping into each other non-stop.
That's the fun of it, though. Times I've almost been maybe a little bit too drunk and almost knocked over Josh on on guitar is.
I straight took out my
10
microphone.
Yeah.
My microphone stand last show.
Yeah, one time
I did that and just knocked it over.
I thought I hit him in the head last year because I did something with my hand, but it turns out he just took his bass and went like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So I thought I hit him in the head. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry for hitting you in the head. My hand hurts. His head must really hurt.
Yeah.
He's like, no, dude, that was my bass head that hit you in the head. I'm like, oh, fuck, you know.
You straight knocked my string down a full step, I think.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, we
I was
like...
I was amazed
having
that
fun.
you weren't
I mean,
swollen.
Yeah, it's if somebody feels the need to do lights for us, that's awesome, and it definitely adds to the atmosphere. But if not, we'll still try to tear that stage up.
Now, because there is such since there are so many metal bands in town, and since metal fans here in Des Moines clearly know their stuff, is it a hard scene to break into as a band? I mean, is it difficult to get people to pay attention?
Starting off, like I've been in more than a couple bands that like just start fresh and have to like build themselves up like from the very bottom. And yeah, sometimes it definitely can be. You have to wait until so long as you have good material. I have been in a band or two where it's been like, yeah, maybe we aren't as good as we thought. But to get people to actually like come out and listen and check your stuff out. Like there's a lot of bands that have been spraying up that like will release recordings and then try and find members to like play the material just so that when people go to a show, who was this band? Oh, here's their recordings, and
or vice versa. They have been a band for a long time and don't have any recordings, which
there's a couple of those.
All right, guys, that's about all we have time for this week. Let people know where they can get a hold of you guys if they want to find out more about Curse of Hail.
Make sure to follow and like us on Facebook. What else? We've got merch available at
Big Cartel. And then our album's available on just about any digital platform.
On iTunes,
and we'll be playing here at Lefty's. Will this be out by, is it May 24th?
May 24th.
May 24th?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, we're going to be here with Pangea. Yeah, that's going to be an awesome show. You should come to that.
I'm excited for that.
They Will Repent, another awesome local band they haven't played for like a little over a year and a half, 2
they're
years.
Doing a reunion show.
They're doing a reunion show. Desecrate Ethereal is coming out with a EP. That's going to be the EP release, and then Through the Darkness.
I recorded that EP.
You recorded that EP, so.
And see, this is what I love about metal bands too, is that you guys are like your average show is like 2 bands, 3 bands, and metal bands are like, we got 97 bands.
Right.
It's fine.
You're getting 10 bands for $2.
I love it. All right, guys, for Curse of Hail, Lunches Live Music, this is Chad Taylor. You're watching Bands in the Bar. We'll see you next week. Keep to the left.